If you've ever wished you could just learn faster, whether it's a new skill, a topic for school, or something for yourself, this video is definitely for you. I used to think that learning fast was about being naturally smart, but it's not. It's about how you approach learning, not how gifted you are. It's about first learning how to learn. For example, this channel is something I'm constantly working on improving. I'm still trying to learn how to make better videos for you guys and create better content, so learning is a huge part of my journey. And learning how to learn was such an important step for me I couldn't skip. It's what actually helped me make real progress instead of wasting time. And so in this video, I want to share all the tips and methods that have helped me learn faster, and that I believe can help you too in anything you're currently learning or want to learn. Starting with one of the most powerful principles, it's the pareto principle. It basically means that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts, which means not everything you do is equally effective. And figuring out the 20% that has the biggest impact helps you get more done in less time. Let's say, for example, you're learning a new language. Instead of trying to memorize every single word you'll probably never use, focus on the most common words and phrases you'll actually be using regularly in conversations. And this works for anything you're trying to get better at. Focusing on the things that have the biggest impact will get you results faster. The next tip is to learn by immersion. I recently read a book called Ultra Learning by Scott Young, where he talks about his journey learning different languages in just 3 months. His biggest takeaway from that experience was that language learning is really about immersion. The more you surround yourself with the language, the faster you'll reach fluency. And so the main idea here is that we learn best when we're in the environment where we'll actually be using that skill. Immerse yourself completely, give it your full time and attention, and you will get further than most people do. The next tip is to figure out your weak spots. It can be very tempting to just stick to what's familiar to us. If we're studying for an exam, it's tempting to just go over the stuff we already know. If we're learning the guitar, it's easy to only play the songs we're comfortable with. But learning only happens when we face challenges and work on the areas that we struggle with. If something is too easy, we're not going to learn anything. You don't learn from repeating what you already know. You learn from pushing into the things you don't understand yet. So if you want to maximize your learning and actually learn faster, identify your weak spots and work on them as quickly as possible. After all, learning isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to be challenging. It's supposed to feel a little uncomfortable. And if it feels hard, that's actually a good sign that we're doing the right thing. Another important method is the spacing effect. There's a psychological concept called the forgetting curve, which shows that we naturally start forgetting information soon after learning it. It's like with our muscles. If we don't exercise them regularly, they get weaker. So in order to retain information, we need to revisit it regularly for our brain to absorb it fully. And most importantly, we need to revisit information at spaced intervals between each session, because that's how your brain remembers things for the long term. That's why cramming rarely works. When you try to learn everything in one go, your brain doesn't have the time it needs to properly store the information. It might feel like you're making progress, but most of it fades quickly. Instead, spacing out your learning and gradually increasing the intervals between sessions gives your brain a chance to strengthen each memory. Each review makes the information easier to remember and use. Another method is to teach what you learn. According to the learning pyramid model, teaching what you learn can help you remember up to 90% of the material. And that's because it forces you to organize your thoughts and put the information into your own words. And even if you have no one to teach, you can explain it out loud to yourself or pretend you're teaching someone else. This makes learning so much easier and effective. And finally, the last tip is to practice what you learn. A common mistake when learning something new is believing that just studying is enough. Watching a video tutorial or reading books can give you knowledge, but knowledge without action is useless. You have to actually use the knowledge and not just consume it. It's like learning to code. No matter how many books you read or tutorials you watch, you won't master it until you try it for yourself and make mistakes along the way. Practice makes perfect. The more you experiment and take action, the faster your skills improve. So those were some of the best ways to learn faster and actually make what you study stick. If you have anything you're currently learning right now, let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you're working on and how it's going. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.